And that's the scary thing is, too, we're not even talking about a lot of money. It's literally fucking $1,500, man. That is not a life-changing sum for any human being on this planet.
Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
Griffin Gaming is a YouTuber that I've defended quite a few times before, and usually his takes aren't exactly anything ludicrous, but as of recently they do seem to be getting worse and worse no matter what topic he's discussing. He's also well known for taking criticism incredibly well.
Oh, let's go. PG Wavy with the 2. Fritanga's been tweeting about you all day. Bro, for months that dude has been in my DMs begging me to like collab or come on stream with them or play games with them. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't fucking care at the end of the day, but it's just very convenient. There ain't no love in these YouTube streets, man. That's all I can tell you. And that's the reason why I've never bothered to make friends with YouTubers, because nobody fucking cares about each other. Like, yeah, dude, when I was playing the fucking Halo campaign, this dude's sending me fucking Discord DMs asking me to play co-op with him.
God, isn't it just amazing how when Griffin calls out his friends' bad takes, it's perfectly reasonable and not clout chasing at all. But as soon as any of the people he's friendly with decide to criticize a bad take of his, he implodes on stream calling them clout chasers and backstabbers. Also, why do you feel the need in this scenario to just blatantly lie about people? Especially when it's over the most asinine things imaginable. If you're going to lie about something, don't do it about something so easy to dispute and something so pointless. Going, haha, you're a loser, you've been in my DMs begging, in response to normal criticism makes you look completely inept at taking any form of criticism, Griffin. It really isn't a good look, mainly because of the fact your entire channel is built off of criticizing people yourself. And although his takes in videos are usually good, his takes on streams are often pretty bad. If he isn't shitting for Activision during them, you know something's wrong. But outside of that, along with the questionable takes he often has, they're fairly enjoyable. However, one of his recent takes, you just have to sit back and take in to its fullest extent to truly grasp how utterly ludicrous it is. I think it's fair to say most people are getting beyond fed up with Nvidia's bullshit over the past couple of years, whether it's increasing the prices of cards in order to push the cost of their terrible financial decisions when it comes to them over manufacturing the 30 series, or locking DLSS 3.0 behind the 40 series whilst publicly admitting that it could technically run on an older RTX card, or blatantly scamming customers by labeling the RTX 4080 with 12GB of VRAM as an RTX 4080 despite the fact it shares nothing in common with its 16GB counterpart, as it has less CUDA cores, less VRAM, a slightly higher clock speed, but also a significantly lower bandwidth, meaning the leak saying Nvidia renamed the 4070 to the 4080 12GB model in order to mislead consumers into thinking they didn't increase the 70 card's price from $500 US to $900 before taxes were false, because Nvidia clearly renamed the 4060 to the 4080. And oh boy, don't get me started on the insanely misleading performance charts Nvidia is using to promote the 4090 actually are. Their benchmarks use DLSS 3.0 on performance mode and are not representative of the real performance, since DLSS 3 generates fake frames using artificial intelligence in order to quote-unquote boost frame rates, which only time will tell just how bad that is. Actually, scrap what I just said, time doesn't need to tell us, because even Nvidia's promotional material that obviously only ever showcases the best case scenario shows it's pretty bad, with noticeable issues. Now you're probably wondering, with all of those issues, how the fuck can anyone unironically shame other people for saying, maybe you shouldn't buy the 4090, because even if we forget about how poorly they treated companies like EVGA and essentially every single one of their partners, the numerous scummy business tactics Nvidia has been using recently alone should make anyone, and I mean anyone, take a step back and go, not only am I buying a product that won't give me any insane performance boost, but I'm also just supporting a terrible company, so I'll stick with my 3090. Or even if you don't give a shit about the morality of buying any of these cards from Nvidia, maybe don't go out of your way to poor shame viewers for commenting on the bad financial decisions you invited your viewers to comment on by making it public discourse. I mean, Jesus Christ, somehow me simply disagreeing with Griffin here has resulted in him crying on his community tab around 20 minutes after I announced the video was going to come out eventually. For a channel who's as irrelevant as me in comparison to your godlike channel that's totally not had stagnant growth for over a year and totally hasn't lost over 1,000 subscribers due to the way you've reacted to this scenario, it is truly an honor to know you're subscribed and have bell notifications turned on, like you all should. I don't know how to break the news to you, Griffin, but if I were to clout chase, it shows I wouldn't be from a channel with stagnant growth for over a year and one who I share a significant portion of my audience with. There's no clout to chase here. We share a fucking audience. If anything, this video is far more likely to cause a mass loss of subscribers than anything. Although with how your own community reacted under your community post, I'm not too sure that'll happen now. If I were to clout chase, I'd pick a much more relevant topic, like the Cyberpunk video I'm going to release eventually, and I honestly do have to feel at least somewhat sympathetic for Griffin here. It must be rough getting ratioed in the replies of your own community post by a channel who has fallen off as hard as mine has. But hey, I think I've said enough. Let's take a look at Griffin's totally reasonable and totally not unhinged rant.
I don't know, man. I don't need to hear the perspective of a bunch of brokies who can't even fucking buy it anyway. Like, fuck off.
Damn, Griffin, it must cut deep knowing that it isn't just the quote-unquote brokies calling you out for your weird need to flex your financial decisions and then cry about people commenting on them. Like, how are you going to cry about people making fun of you for making poor financial decisions when you feel the need to always publicly tell everyone about them? You are blatantly inviting people to discuss how you spend your money when you do that, and yet you're getting audibly upset over people discussing it. If you do not want people talking about how you spend your money, don't repeatedly open up the discourse.
Like, I had people going like, you're encouraging Nvidia to constantly raise the price. Good, I fucking hope they double it next year, you sick piece of shit.
Now, in fairness to Griffin here, he did claim that he's taking jabs at pocket watches in this part particularly, but that isn't what he's doing. You're literally just poor shaming, something you called other people out for fairly recently. Sure, it may have been your intention, but your actions do not remotely match them. And regardless, why on earth are you so triggered by people discussing how you spend your money when you fucking invited them to do so? And he claims he doesn't support Nvidia locking DLSS 3 behind the 40 series.
I Lobo Gaming with the 10. Also, do you justify Jensen? Who the fuck is that? Putting DLSS 3 behind a paywall with the 4000 series cards, where 30 series can run fine. I don't even know what that means, but sure, no, I don't support it. If it can run it on the old cards, that's kind of stupid. But honestly, I know nothing about that.
But he's also buying a 40 series card. You can't not support something and then financially support it, Griffin. That makes no sense. You know, Griffin's actions don't appear to match his supposed intentions in this scenario at all. Also, how the fuck do you not know who Jensen is, and how the fuck do you not know what DLSS is? You are spending over $1,600 on a single component of your computer, and somehow your dumbass doesn't even know about its single biggest selling point.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen a better example of that meme. My man is the pure embodiment of it. The reason the quote-unquote pocket watchers are angry is because you're doing the very thing you criticize others for, just consuming products without questioning anything. You couldn't have made that more abundantly clear when you stated you didn't even know what DLSS is.
I don't know, man. I just fucking hate people like that. So much. Get a fucking job and get off of YouTube.
Hello. Pat Bateman. You want some, money?
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Cold out too, isn't it? Why don't you get a job? If you're so hungry, why don't you get a job?
I lost my job.
Why? You drinking? Is that why you lost it? Insider trading? Just joking. Listen, what's your name?
Al.
Speak up, come on.
Al.
Get a goddamn job, Al. You got a negative attitude. That's what's stopping you.
Oh, thank you, mister. Thank you. Are you alright? I'm cold out here.
What a fucking loser you are.
What?
Get a fucking job.
When someone whose income is significantly supported by YouTube tells other people to go outside and get a job, as well as get off YouTube, it never fails to fall flat on his face because of how insanely unself-aware you have to be in order to make that comment. You actively make money off of creating content for these people to consume via YouTube, telling them to get off the site that was your sole source of income for around 2 years, and to get a job takes a level of ignorance only the streaming version of Griffin could produce. If it wasn't for those sad brokies sitting around and watching your content, then you wouldn't be able to afford nearly as many things as you can. It does genuinely feel as if Griffin does his streams on autopilot mode without a single thought passing through his head before talking sometimes.
Holy fuck. And that's the scary thing is, too, we're not even talking about a lot of money. It's literally fucking $1,500, man. That is not a life-changing sum for any human being on this planet.
Mario!
How fucking goddamn delusional do you have to be to unironically think that $1,000 US, let alone $1.5 grand, is not a life-changing sum of cash? The levels of ignorance required to believe such a thing could frankly only possibly come from someone who has been financially shielded by mommy and daddy their entire life. If you are wondering why people dislike your take, a major factor is because you are incredibly out of touch with reality, my friend. How are you confused as to why people aren't happy with this take? This isn't just making fun of the pocket watchers, this is nothing but pure ignorant gibberish, in all honesty.
Like, people are acting like this is the price of a fucking car. No, it's like $1,000, bro. If you sell your existing GPU and buy it, you're probably gonna spend $1 grand. Which, this is the top of the line card. Less than 1% of the market is probably gonna buy it. It's just so fucking annoying.
The funniest part about this clip in particular is that my brother's first card did genuinely cost around £100, less than the asking price of an RTX 4090 from Nvidia in the UK. These are not reasonable prices no matter how rich you are, and the literal only reason as to why Nvidia priced them the way that they did was so that they could sell the 30 series cards off, since they had overproduced them in an attempt to cash in on the dead crypto mining scene. They are giving the 30 series artificial value to make back the money they lost last generation due to bad financial decisions they made, while simultaneously cashing in on the idiots like you willing to spend that insane amount of money on a single component of their computer. And as soon as those cards are gone, you can bet your ass the price will go down to around what the MSRP should have been. Not only that, but the whole premium product stance is one that's a self-defeating argument, especially when you've previously and rightfully called out Sony for increasing the PS5's price by £50 in the UK/Europe. At what point do we turn around and say maybe that's too much money? After all, why can't Sony increase the price of the PS5? It's a premium product at the end of the day. Fuck it, why not double the price? And I better not hear any brokies complain about it.
Yeah, like, the thing is like less than probably 5% of the entire PC market would even consider buying a 4090. But yet everyone's outraged over the price of something they're never gonna fucking buy. I don't get it. It's not like this is a fucking console or some bullshit, where it's like literally marketed towards people who don't have a lot of money to spend on fucking gaming hardware. Like, that's the whole point of a console, or like lower end GPUs, or the previous generation GPUs. Like, of course, if you buy the top of the line, brand new, most powerful graphics card on the market, you're gonna pay a lot of money for it. Duh shit. I don't know, man. It's just obnoxious.
The idea that people are not allowed to comment on something simply because they cannot afford it is one built up of nothing but brain dead and insufficient logic. The income of someone is irrelevant to the point they are making. These cards are not priced the way they are because that's how they should be. It's the reasoning I gave earlier. Nvidia made too many 30 cards. Just reading out how many cards there are in the 30 series should tell you that in and of itself. You have the 3050, 50 Ti, the 3060, the 60 Ti, the 3070, the 70 Ti, the 3080, 3080, the 3080 Ti, and then the 3090, and then the 3090 Ti. The consumer should not take the brunt of Jensen's hilariously terrible business decisions. I have no idea how they thought it would be sustainable to make that many cards even with the crypto market at the time. And no, Griffin, the 40 lineup of GPUs isn't intended for 1% gamers in the first place. It's for Blender and similar software, and I know for a fact that if you do make a response video to this video, you're going to bring up the fact that the Titan series got made into the 90 series. But the problem with that is, they brought the quote-unquote Titan cards into the consumer branch of electronics that they sell. You cannot be charging workstation prices for GPUs when you are selling them to consumers. You charge consumer electronic prices, not scalper prices. These cards are no longer in the Titan lineup, they're in the consumer branch. Maybe instead of raging at your viewers for being broke, take 2 seconds to listen to what they're saying, because you will not be seeing any noticeable improvements moving from your 3090 to 4090. Please do not believe those bullshit fake IA generated frame rate graphs. However, I will say that Nvidia is slowly but surely pricing out the general consumer along with their primary market for the 90 cards, because frankly, Nvidia do not see AMD as competition. They are making the same mistakes as Intel did, and you are directly supporting it whether you say you are or not. Plus, as I said earlier, the whole premium product argument is self-defeating, because at what point do you draw the line? A $2,000 card, a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 card? We saw pretty clearly with the 3090 Ti that even the people who Griffin thinks would consider buying a 4090 like myself are not open to the prices they want us to pay, especially when people in the UK and Europe are seeing even higher prices for the exact same products. Are you seriously going to defend the fact that the 4090 costs damn near $3 grand in Australia?
It's like literally, bro, I don't know. It's like that Kanye lyric, bro. I'm done taking advice from people less successful than me. That's some fucking straight facts.
Jesus Christ, if I could show you guys how much I cringed at that moment, I would, but my god, does this man give off the highest level of sheltered frat boy energy at times. And no, Griffin, I don't give a single fuck that you see the value in an RTX 4090, because guess what? Unlike you claim, it is not just your money you are spending, it is money donated by the very people you are calling broke losers who need to get off YouTube. Come on, Griffin, take your own advice. You're already halfway there since you already have a job, why not commit? When you're actively taking money from people and are actively discussing what you do with that money in the public eye, then everyone has the fucking right to comment on it. Quit crying about it. You are quite literally the reverse of Robin Hood at this point. Happy taking money from the poor, shit talking them, and then giving it to the rich.
Bunch of brokies are telling me that I'm ruining the fucking GPU market. Eat a fucking cock. Holy fuck, dude.
Man, I wonder why people aren't taking kindly to your take here. It's almost as if you should form a coherent argument rather than just return into the state of an edgy high schooler and call them broke whilst they're at least half of the reason you can even afford these GPUs.
Yeah, there's gonna be like 40, there's probably gonna be like a 4050, a 4060, 4070. They always announce the high-end.
I love to break it to you, Griffin, but the 4060 is already here. It's the 4080 12GB model, which is essentially a $900 4060 card. There's also a substantial gap between the 4090 and the 16GB 4080 model in terms of CUDA cores, so I'm even more inclined to claim that the 12GB version is a 60 card, with the 16GB model being the actual 4070. God, I love Nvidia. Aren't they just the best? But hey, Griffin, I'm sure you'll find so much value in the fake frame rates. Unfortunately, I don't have the rest of the rant since Griffin deletes all his streams, but as I said earlier, you are inviting the discussion, and then when you get the slightest bit of pushback, you cry and stream about how people are backstabbing you and how poor people shouldn't comment on something they can't afford. According to how Griffin has been behaving for the past few days, it's perfectly okay for him to criticize other channels who he is friendly with and it not be quote-unquote clout chasing or backstabbing. But as soon as he gets even a little community post made in order to announce a video covering an objectively bad take of his, he cries and pulls the clout chasing card, something he agrees you only do if you have no arguments to make. I know you were going for an epic roast with your community post, but by scrolling through the comments underneath, it's fairly certain you fell flat on your insecure ass. Maybe, just maybe, Griffin, do not take everything so goddamn personal, because frankly, behind the scenes of this entire situation, you have been acting far more calmly and far more reasonable. But when specifically speaking speaking to your viewers, you're pretending as if the entire gaming community is looking to rip apart your YouTube career. Get over yourself and get a bloody grip already. My video was never intended as some fucking hit piece like you're trying to suggest to your viewers it was. I don't know why me making a video has put you in full panic mode and damage control mode, but for some reason it seems to have done that. If you had just said I want it so I'm going to buy it, no one would have even remotely cared. It's the added horseshit of poor shaming viewers over quote unquote pocket watching. And with all of that being said, we have finally come to the end of the video, so please do not forget to reinforce my clear clout chasing by checking out the channel Discord server, Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe, so that I will see you all in the next video.